thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I can't believe I have the best in show to chat with. How are you?
Oh, Manny, I am always golden.
It's such a fun interview to do just because I've been keeping up with what you're up to, and I know you got a big match coming up on Saturday. You and Katrina Jinx. Tell me a little bit about Animal Instinct.
Yeah, me and my tag partner, Kat, we are looking to someday soon take those tag team titles. This weekend, we have a match against the Fierce Sisters again. I really want to set it in stone that last time was not a fluke. We will beat them again. We will take that pin, 1, 2, 3, and our hands will be raised at the end. So I am looking forward to finishing that match and then quickly and promptly calling, well, demanding really a match against our current tag team title holders, Miami Sweet Heat.
I mean, you should. I mean, you just got to win, right? I don't understand what this whole thing about winning a certain way. Winning is winning, and everything else really doesn't matter, right?
Absolutely. Winning is winning. I think at the end of the day, creativity counts. I think you have to try, and never is enough. So do what you have to win. And we can train for all sorts of circumstances, but you never know what's going to happen in that ring. So you gotta just be ready for anything.
Especially with the women in wrestling. You guys have such a robust, large locker room that any edge you can get. Listen, I'm with you. You do what you do and get those tag titles.
Absolutely.
I will say though, I did watch an interview you did with KCal with uh,
Mm.
Crush, and
Yeah.
you kind of threw a little shade there as to maybe going for the trios title a little bit later on. What any ideas who that third may be?
I have ideas. I'm open to anyone who's willing to step forward and say, hey, Goldie, I would love to be a member of Animal Instinct. Here's what I bring to the table. I'll hear everyone out. I'm willing. However, there are a few folks that I think would be better fits than others. But I am interested in building out our faction and someday taking those trios titles. I think taking over the entire division means that I have to take the WoW World Champion belt, the Tag Team Champion belt, and the Trios belts. So it's going to take some time, but I do intend to dominate.
Nothing wrong with having all the gold.
Yeah, well, and if anyone's going to have all the gold, it should be me.
Of course. Tell me a little bit about you in Women of Wrestling and how you've enjoyed your time there so far. Season 3 has
Yeah.
been great. Yeah, talk to me about your experience there.
My time at WoW has been incredible. I really fell in love with the sport here. I have been an athlete most of my life. However, wrestling is new to me, and WoW was the place that I came to train and learn. And so I've been very fortunate to work with some of our greats that have trained and been a part of the WoW family. I'm very fortunate. And I think that you hit the nail on the head earlier. WoW's locker room is just full of so many diverse, strong, and talented women. There's no shortage of competitors that I am willing to go toe to toe with. I have a load of respect for these women that are willing to get in that ring and put it all out there. So I'm just very fortunate to have WoW, and I believe WoW is very fortunate to have me.
100%. What does it mean to you to see really women in wrestling being the spotlight? I mean, what makes women in wrestling I think so unique is that they've been doing it for so long and it's been right there in front of everyone, and now it seems like all these other promotions are starting to get a hold of it and spotlight their women. What does it mean to you to see so many women in wrestling doing well?
Yeah, absolutely. It is. First off, I'm always pro pushing and amplifying women's sports and voices. I think that we have so much to offer, and I love to see everyone realizing that and spreading it. So let's keep doing that. In terms of WoW, though, you're right. We've been here for so long, and the company has just always been one of these spaces, and the leader in that women's wrestling space. Being a global footprint and having such a large impact is really impressive, and I think that that people who don't know wrestling know. Wow, you know, we aren't just for wrestling fans. And but we have a good chunk of people who are lifelong wrestling fans, and bringing in new fans all the time, because like you said, these larger than life characters are just always pulling from all different avenues of life. So I think that WoW is setting the stage for this women's wrestling movement very beautifully, and I'm happy to be a part of such a loud voice in that.
Yeah, it's so good. What were some of the things in coming up now that you're doing wrestling that maybe you found a little bit more challenging to really get going? What were some things? Was it maybe promos, or was it some moves, pacing? What did you say? What would you say?
In general, there's something that is to be said about how serious it really it gets when you step in that ring and you get into a fight. Um, and you can prep for that, but until you're in that moment, you don't know what it's like. And so something I really was challenged with is like, how's this actually going to feel when, you know, I go into my first match? I've trained, you know, have done drills and prepped myself for taking these hits and being ready for anything, but how am I going to know? And so that was something I struggled with of, am I prepared for this? But being who I am and understanding that I am always doing my homework and I am constantly trying to improve and better myself, I knew that if you're questioning that and you're feeling that way, your chances are you're probably okay. And you are like aware enough to know like what's going on. So that was really challenging just to know like when I was ready. And once I was ready, I felt very confident and I stepped out there, and that sort of faded. So I think that was kind of the challenge of like, okay, when is the time now? But I think I played it right.
Yeah, you got a lot of confidence when you go out there, a lot of charisma, and we love to see it. Speaking of which, this is a question that's kind of annoying that I like to ask wrestlers, just because in my experience in going to wrestling shows, there's nothing like sitting ringside and kind of feeling that energy of the crowd upon you. And it's exhausting. And
Mhm.
I'm always so curious, what is it like for you to be in the middle of that ring with so many people really giving all their energy towards you?
Absolutely. It's very electrifying. You walk out there and the second you hear the crowd, something takes over, and it's like this it's this hit of dopamine that you're just like, wow, I get to do this for real. And so then when I go out and I'm, you know, greeting my fans and getting ready to go into the ring, all I'm thinking about is just like how grateful I am and how grateful they should be to be in the presence of me. But especially like how special it is that we're getting ready to share this, you know, next bit of time together. And so then once I'm in the ring, it is this sort of world where it feels like the people that are within the same four walls as you are living in this like bubble. And even though it's being filmed and broadcast and there's people elsewhere that will see it, it does feel like this shared experience that is really special between you and the audience and your competitors. And so that sort of, you zone in on that, and I love to like live in that moment of this is real, this is live, you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing, like we are in this together. So yeah, like you said, as a fan, you also leave exhausted. You're doing more matches a night than I am.
Oh yeah, and I love it. I love it. I would not have it any other way. Love your promos. Give me some tips on doing a good promo. I think I'm witty, but I don't think I could do what you do.
Well, it takes time. I think you just have to know exactly who you are and be confident that you're not going to say the wrong thing, because chances are you're not. But talk to yourself, talk to your friends, talk to anyone that'll listen, and don't be afraid to be confident in exactly what you offer. I think that knowing your worth is so important, and stepping out and saying, "Hey, this is real, this is me," and just owning it is the key. Just being that like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this promo. And then you do. It's it's all a mind game, really.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. With that said, tell me, where did Goldie Collins come from as far as the persona that we see?
And Goldie Collins is, I think, just a heightened version of myself. WoW kind of gives us this opportunity to say, hey, who are we? And then, hey, how do you make this larger than life? And that's sort of who and what Goldie Collins is. She's this fabulous showman that is always looking to take over and be the biggest star and the big winner. And so I think for me it came very naturally, and it is something I get to just slip into this big positive sunbeam of confidence. It's yeah, you get to light yourself up and say, hey, I am this person and this is me. So yeah.
It looks like a lot of fun, like because you're so. It's almost like not necessarily bubbly. That's the wrong word. But really, almost like positive, but in a very healed way. And I just I love it. Also, how's Alexander doing? Gotta ask you
Oh,
that.
he's so good. He is so good. He's been busy. I mean, the man is booked, but he is living the life. He's taking his afternoon nap right now. I'm sure he'll get an evening WALK. I can't say it too loud. He will hear me. But we'll get that soon, and we'll hopefully see him on the show sometime in the near future.
Yeah, that would be really really cool. What can fans expect from the rest of season 3 of Women of Wrestling?
Well, you can expect to see me and my tag partner, Katarina Jinx, take over the tag team division. I additionally hope and pray that I can get some shots towards the WoW Women's World tag belt. And then we'll see if any trios, stuff happens. But just really focus in, because I do think that we're going to be contenders for those belts very, very soon. And I have no idea what the future holds, but if I were a fortune teller or a mystic or whatever, I would say by the new year, maybe you'll have a new tag team champion, and maybe it will be Animal Instinct. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. A holiday miracle.
Just make it happen. Just don't, not maybe they will be, but
Well, they're definitely, I mean, here, if there's anything that I have to say about it, I will be your tag team champion by the new year. However, David McLane can get in the way. So we'll see.
management always getting in the way.
Always getting in my way.
Yeah, we and so actually with that, I do want to ask you one last question. What are the criteria that Animal Instinct is looking for in that third partner?
Mm, dedication, loyalty, obedience. We are just so aligned in how we put each other on that pedestal when it comes to the company and who we are loyal to. And so I'm looking for that in a trios member. Additionally, something unique that you bring that neither of us bring. She's a bit more of an elusive, sort of flexible, cat-like fighter. I tend to be more powerful and bold and splashy and flashy. And we're looking for something else that adds into that mix. So if you have something different, bring it in.
Yeah, but you're gonna keep everybody on a short leash. I'm sure.
Always. Always. At the end of the day, that is something I think is important. They have to understand the hierarchy. It is Goldie Collins at the top of the pyramid every single time.
You know what? Not a bad idea. Goldie, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I really appreciate chatting with you. Animal Instinct is awesome. Women of Wrestling are awesome, and that's because they have the best in show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Manny. I appreciate it.
It's nice to meet you, and hopefully we get to chat again. I hope that there's some gold around your waist, and maybe around your waist, and also on your shoulder. I don't know. I think you're gonna be taking over pretty soon.
I think so too. I think so too. We'll need a
That's it.
whole other thing for all my titles.
Yeah, yeah, and then I'll bring this back and say that I was there the whole time as a supporter.
Absolutely.
Take care. It was nice to meet you.
Have a good one. Thank you.